Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Raising Kanan, currently streaming on and airing on Stars. This is season 4, episode 8. They were gone for a week, and now we're back. I guess we got like 2 more episodes, but I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Like this video, share it, and you can leave your comments below. Also, subscribe if you are new. Now let's get into this week's episode. I will say, spoiler alert, we finally found out who put down Fang. And it's not what the narrative is, which I never believed in the first place. It didn't make sense at all. But anyways, before we get there, Daquan, who is the now connect of Unique, is being robbed. And guess by who? Marvin. So Marvin, he got on this ski mask and all that stuff, and he's holding Daquan at gunpoint, and Daquan ends up giving his code to his little safe so that he can get the money. What Marvin didn't know is that he had jewels in there too, and so he took that too. Daquan figured out that this was Marvin, or at least Rock's little brother, and Marvin ended up shooting and unaliving him. Oh, how everything is planning out. The seed's been planted all season long and beforehand of different ones trying to say that Marvin is just a do-boy. Even when Daquan said that you're Rock's little brother, and then Marvin said, and I'm going to be the one that puts you down, and then he doesn't. So obviously there's got to be some type of war or contention that's coming up in these next few weeks that's going to cause a divide between Rock and Marvin. I see something happening. I just don't know what exactly is going to happen. All right. So next scene, Lou with his new girl. I keep forgetting her name, and the AR girl. So they had sex and all that good stuff. At this point, the girl wants to know how many 304s, if you know what that is, Lou got, and how she explained it like how many jobs you have. And Lou said that only got one full-time job, which is her. Full time. I can get another job. Talking, and basically, she said that she doesn't have anyone either, because she was like, if you got some more, I can go get some more too. Blah 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 blah. But anyways, the AR girl wanted to know a little bit more about what's going on in Lou's head since losing his mom. He says that I don't know what to say, and I really don't know how to feel. And she said that's valid, you know, and just keep it as you need to, and I'm here for you if you need me to be there for you. So Kenyatta and the rapper, I think his name is B-Rilla. You know, I haven't been saying his name for the longest because I don't remember, and nobody says his name. So I need people for y'all to say names sometimes. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. So he got another man, I think. At this point, I know some point in the episode, Kenyatta has another assistant, but he says that we're gonna rob his boss again, and B-Rilla's like, I don't really think that that's a good idea. You know, it's hot, and Kenyatta said that you're going to do it willingly or unwillingly. Basically, like, you started this fire, and now we're gonna watch it all burn down. You're gonna participate in it. It's like, of course, you shouldn't make nobody do anything, but don't plant the seeds and expect not the weeds to come up at some point that you actually planted. So who is this? Oh, Kanan and Juke, they meet up. Kanan tells Juke that OC robbed him. And he tells Juke that he thinks that Rock is the one that put down Fang. They're on assignment. Juke has got to go talk to D West, which I believe is OC's brother, and Juke and Kanan's going to talk to Snaps and Pop. So OC is at Fame's place, and he's waiting on him to get there. He's asking some of his boys, like, when is he coming? And one of the dudes says that you'll wait until he gets here. He finally shows up, and OC needs to talk to Unique right away, and says that Kanan knows that I helped you get that cash, and basically I'm scared and I gotta get out of town. You gotta help me. Neek says that Rock put down Quan. He doesn't know it, but basically he knows it. And she's gonna have to pay because that is his connect. OC's like, look, I gotta get out of town. You gotta help me, give me some money. So then he ends up saying, I'm gonna help you right now, and pows him for no reason. Like, dude, OC, you were just being a double agent, and you get what you get. I don't have nothing, feel no ways about what has happened to you. Sorry. B-Rilla and Lou. Okay. B-Rilla is rapping in the studio, in the booth, and he's not really hitting it. Lou pauses everything, and he wants to talk with B-Rilla, like something that is not right with you, what's going on? So then he finally confesses that, I got this whole thing started with this whole robbery thing. I didn't help. I backed out at the end. However, they want to still rob since it wasn't the right place that they were at. At this point, Lou is upset. I think Lou's going to say something a little bit later because I remember Lou saying, like, you really got yourself in a lot of ish right now. Rock and Marvin, they talk with the other dealer that's importing drugs from overseas for them, and he says that the drugs are being rushed. And Rock is like, "Hey, we gotta get this going. Da 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 da. I'm ready." Neek and the detective. Oh, the detective. He's the white detective that was in the beginning of the season. I'm surprised we haven't seen Captain again, because he said that investigation is not going to cease. But I think he did put this detective, the white detective, on assignment anyways. So he's talking with Neek and wants to know what happened with his brother. Because as of right now, since you became back alive, you're the prime suspect in this whole thing because Ronnie was right next to Detective Harris is his name? Whatever his name was. Omar. Detective Omar, I'll say it. I don't remember his name at this point. The detective feels like that all three of them were in business together, da-da-da-da-da. Whatever went down, you ended up pow-pow everyone, and now you rise back up to the top. Unique said, keep on guessing. That's not true. That's not how it happened, but I'm going to let you ride with that. Detective said that I'm on your heels until you get to talking. And he basically said, whatever. Kanan goes visits Pop and Smoke. They want to know who took out Quan. They think that, or I think Kanan asked, who took out Quan. And I think they said the streets are saying that Rock did that, blah, 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 blah. Pop or whichever one said, you are surrounded by suckers, and you are the biggest sucker of them all. And Kanan asked them, like, could you use your connect with the police in order to find out what they know about what ended Famous and all that good stuff? Do you have a hint as to who it is? He said, no, but I'm trying to find out. Marvin, and I think his name is Erlen. This is Neek's friend, the one that was helping him get back to life. Erlen says that he handled the situation out there and ended up ending the life of Sal's associate, or not Sal's associate, Stefano's associate. And Marvin's like, one of his friends did it. Marvin's like, this is going to be bad because now you're going to start a war that I did not want to happen. You could have just handled it in a simpler way. But Marvin, almost everyone that you've confronted this season ends up with you pow-powing them. So it's like you're getting mad at them, but you're the same person that's doing this. You have no type of tip of control, and you think that you need to handle it this way. Maybe you did need to do that, and maybe you didn't. But however, you've been handling it in certain ways that wasn't told you to handle it. Sorry. Juke goes and visits OC's house, where OC's brother, I guess if they were moving together. Duke asks, where is OC's at? Da 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 da. Dude says, look, I got something on the stove. Can you step inside for a minute? Da 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 da. So at this point, after he goes to the kitchen, he ends up trying to make a move on Juke. And Juke ended up twisting his arm and kicking his tail, basically. And she pulls out her gun. Then all of a sudden, he's ready to talk about OC, saying, I don't know, he hasn't been around for about 3 days or so. And she was like, that was so simple for you to say up front. and now I gotta off you. She didn't do it, but she ended up just leaving him. So I was like, look, dude was about to try to RAPE. And that is just so crazy. Like, now I do know that there are some dudes that will try, especially if they think that you are gay, that they will try to do what they want to do to you, either to punish you or to see if they can get you to turn straight. Rock and David, he's in his own world. He is in his own world. And Rock got to hear him go through this stuff about non-existent stuff. What did Rock call him the other week? Martha Stewart or something, whatever. And Rock just said, are you ready? Because we got a new shipment coming in. He says yes, but he says, well, she says that your staff is looking a little slim right now. And David said, we can hire some more people. And Rock says that we are not going to F this up. So get it together. Pop and Smoke. This is the big reveal. Talks with the cops that they are in cahoots with. And they say that there are people asking about Famous, and we told you to handle this whole situation a long time ago, So we find out that Pop and Smoke are the ones that gave the orders to get Famous up out of here. Why did that happen? I don't know. I don't even know how that they were even connected to Famous like that, especially for the stuff that was going on that had nothing to do with them. And I don't think that they were trying to spare Kanan or save his life or whatever. So it was quite interesting to see that they were the ones, but they up in Kanan's face like, Yeah, so now we know who did what. Nick is talking with Sal's brother. And basically he's like, you gotta get my money. Because he already knows that Daquan's gone and all that, and he's not really pulling in all the resources that he's supposed to have. And he just said, give my money. I don't care how you gotta do it. Come hook a crook. Get it to me. I supplied you with men, and you were supposed to do this, So do what needs to be done. So Lou, he goes and visits Kenyatta, the one that's trying to rob the label owner. And basically says, chill on what you're trying to do, Leave Be Realer alone also. Well, whoever Kenyatta had with him was trying to say that these white people have brainwashed Lou as to why he's trying to take up for them and all that stuff. And the other dude pulls out a gun but doesn't show it all the way, but Lou knows what's going on. And Lou ends up leaving, at this point. Because they basically said, you might as well just leave. Marvin and Rat. So Rock has come up with a game plan since she's getting these drugs. We got to get Stefano back. And then Marvin said, I think we're about to be in some real drama with Stefano. And Rock says, for what? And he's talking about, another person I know ended up putting him down, put down one of his associates, and that's not good. And Rock says, you need to fix this. Everything that comes in your hands, you end up effing up. I can't sit up here and lie and act like Rock is lying or whatever. Nope. You did that. Okay, so Neek, Pop, and Smoke, they meet. Neek tells Pop and Smoke that Rock is slipping and I'm gaining, and I think that they want to collab and join together. And they said, Pop and Smoke said, what are we going to do together? You talk a big talk with nothing to back it up with. I think Nick or them either commanded them to go on and talk to, he's either going to talk to Stefano or they told him to talk to Stefano. Basically, that's going to be his way of getting back up after losing Daquan. Let's see. Rock and Juke, they are packing up some of Miss Thomas's things, and they start talking about her. Juke is asking, how did she just leave the earth, basically. Rock said, she was tired and ended up just giving up life, blah, 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 blah. Of course, we know what the real truth is. Juke asked Rock about, do you know anything about Famous? Rock said, I don't. But you need to look out, or did Oh, no, Rock said, do you think Kanan knows who did this to Famous? Juke says no, even though she knows what's going on. Rock said, look out for Kanan. I know he's going to do something stupid if he thinks he knows who did this to Famous. And you can see the look on Juke's face. You know that she's not lying in regards to this. Marvin and Stefano. Marvin tells Stefano that we're back. And Stefano's like, look, before we even move forward or whatever, we need to handle things in-house instead of trying to branch out, because I know that Rock didn't want to just stay in Queens with the product that she has. So she wanted to move abroad. And Stefano asked, have you heard about my friend who was put down? And Marvin said no. And Stefano says, whoever did it, I have concrete boots for, or shoes for. And Marvin said, well, I don't believe that I fit those shoes. And Stefano said, these shoes are one size fits all. So basically, I don't care who you are or whatever, you're going down once I find out who did what. OC's body is found in the trash. Kanan is back at his apartment and tells Crystal that she gotta go. Too much stuff is happening, and I don't know what could happen to you, so you need to go stay with your mom or aunt or something to that nature. Just, you gotta go. Crystal tells Kanan, I don't think that your mom did that to Famous. And Kanan's not trying to hear all that, but she's pleading with him like, no, she was a different person. You should have seen her at the repass and all that. And Kanan's like, you don't know this woman. This woman will put on a performance for you, blah, 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 blah. And again, Kanan saying, you gotta go. And then Crystal was like, well, who's going to protect you? And then we ended that scene. The dude that put down Stefano's friend and Easy, they're playing some type of game or whatever. Londell, I think is his name. He went outside to go piss. Marvin is out there and he ends up putting him down. I was like, okay. He says, loose lips kills tricks. I said, wow. Okay, Marvin. Okay. But he had to basically cover all his tracks so it doesn't get back to Stefano as to what happened. Rock's product came in and she's happy about that. Kanan and Juke, they talk again. They found OC's body. Lou and B Rilla, they're talking. They're going into the studio and kind of arguing with each other as to what is going on with this whole situation with Kenyatta and stuff. B Rilla says to Lou that he's went soft since Fame passed away. And Lou says, I'm still strong, blah, 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 da, da, da. And he's going to prove it in just a few minutes. Crystal goes and sees Rock and tells Rock that, I'm worried about Kanan. And then Rock was like, there's only so much a mother can do. Crystal says that my mother used to say the same thing when she did not want to take responsibility for what she has caused. That's some truth. Possibly, I hope that there is a turning point between Rock and Kanan, because I'm really getting sick of them not liking each other, because what is it benefiting? You got these outside forces trying to pull them apart, and Kanan wants to just be stubborn and bullheaded. Like, it's time out for all that, in my opinion. Juke is eating lunch and at some restaurant. The detective comes in and he wants to know, what is this relationship between Unique and Ronnie? Like, what do you know about that whole situation? And Juke said, I lost my appetite. I ain't gonna stay here. Crystal, she's headed out of town. She's on this bus. And then those same crooked cops that Papa Smoke was meeting up with ended up getting her and saying that you have to get off the bus. We have some questions about Fame. And Crystal's like, I don't know what you want from me. I don't have nothing to give you, blah, 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 blah. So Kenyatta and Julius is his name, his assistant, are waiting outside for Lou. They know that B-Rilla and Lou were in the studio, and it's been hours that they were waiting. And they think that they saw them come out or whatever, but I think the lights went off or something or whatever. I think. So anyways, next thing you know, Lou opens up their car door and shoots both of them. Kenyatta was still alive and he was trying to get out of his car. He gets out of it and Lou took care, boom, 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 and took care of him. So the Lou that we know is back. How y'all feel about that? Especially the journey that he has taken. to have all of this this savior complex for this dude be really that's getting him in trouble. It's kind of interesting to see. Do you think he's going to go full-fledged back into what he was doing with Rock? I don't know. Maybe he'll do a little something here and there, but I think I can't see him wanting to give up his legit business for this. But hey, that's just my opinion. But tell me what your thoughts of this episode was or is, and we'll see you on the next episode. I don't think it's the finale. I think we're getting 10 episodes, but we're getting close to the end. Anyways, like this video, share it, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And until the next one, peace.